Hey guys, today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called Why So Many American Houses Are Flimsy.
You can hear conversations through the walls.
The amount of cargo.
Footsteps up the stairs.
Yeah.
Banging pots in the kitchen when you're across the house. That's just life in most American homes. Walls are thin and the opposite of soundproof. And something
Absolutely.
always needs to be fixed. And most homes aren't even that old. There should be no excuse that they're falling apart. But why are they like this, especially when other areas have sturdy, thick houses that last hundreds and hundreds of years?
The answer isn't just capitalism, so don't click off the video just yet.
Okay.
It's actually a lot more complex, and the solution is easy.
I think it's cheaper, actually.
If you're looking for one quick thing to blame, you can look towards George Washington's snow.
Oh my
In
God,
1832, the civil engineer was tasked with building a Chicago warehouse as quickly as possible from the local softwood. So he got creative. Snow used 2x4s to assemble hollow walls, several stories high. The method let individual workers handle assembly, leaving only one person to nail it all into place. Snow completed the warehouse in record time. The method was called balloon framing, and it became the construction method of choice in Chicago. But balloon framing didn't take off until the 1940s, when America was experiencing a post-war boom period.
The suburbs, they started
More Americans had money than ever before, and they wanted the American dream, a house. They could suddenly afford to buy homes in sprawling new suburbs, and contractors knew they could make a killing if they could produce enough homes to satisfy the demand.
Of course.
Balloon framing and its successor, platform framing, allowed contractors to frame houses basically overnight. But there was something unique about balloon framing that made it only feasible in certain countries, like the US and Canada, and not in Europe.
Balloon framing requires a massive quantity of long, mature trees.
And America had an abundance of super tall, mature trees. Plus, it was an easy and cheap construction material for the newly growing suburbs. Wood is sturdy, yet flexible enough to withstand low-intensity earthquakes and tornadoes. If you want to hear about all of wood's good qualities, check out our video on the subject here. In Europe, wood is still incredibly expensive because so few forests remain. And what they do have is heavily protected. So the average European home is built with brick, stone, or concrete, and they're many centuries old. These materials can be sturdier and safer than wood. A concrete masonry wall has a, shocker, higher fire insulation property rating compared to a wooden frame wall.
Of course, wood is
One of these concrete walls has a fire rating of around 4 hours till it's destroyed, as compared to a wooden framed wall, which only has a rating of around an hour. Insurance carriers also have long-term data suggesting that homes constructed of brick are less likely to be destroyed by natural hazards. And if saving money is your game, the U.S. Department of Energy estimates that you could save $340 a month, or over $4,000 a year on heating and cooling if you live in a brick house over a wood one.
Okay.
It's estimated that losses from wildfires have added up to $5.1 billion over the past 10 years. A number made even more bloated by all the wood-framed houses.
Now, to be clear, wood isn't necessarily a bad building material.
I mean, take a look at the Fairbanks house in Dedham, Massachusetts. It's been standing since 1637. But in general, wood is harder to maintain. In fact, without maintenance, many houses won't make it to 30 years.
Oh my God,
really?
really?
Americans, that's just the right amount of time.
The U.S. Census says that the average American moves houses 11 times in their lifetime. That figure across 16 European countries? About 4 times.
Yeah,
Since Americans are constantly moving their homes, they don't need them to last as long. They expect a semi-new home wherever they go because with the increased owner turnover, regular maintenance isn't normally done. It's easier just to rip it down.
Yeah, that's awful.
And start over fresh.
But why do Americans move around so much?
You can blame the job
economy.
In America, it's much more common to hop around between companies. The opposite is true in the European Union. The World Bank reports that the median tenure of the average US employee was 4 years, while the median tenure in the EU was 10 years. Part of that culture of constantly shifting jobs is moving to a new area to take that job, meaning you've got to move houses.
Yeah.
So, short story, blame George Washington Snow.
Okay.
Long story, blame the shifting US job market.
Interestingly, we aren't the only country in the world to have famously flimsy houses.
Oh,
We
what
share
other?
that title with Japan, and they're
Oh.
actually worse than us.
Houses in Japan depreciate like cars do in the US.
After 20
That's
years,
insane.
a Japanese house typically loses all of its value and is, on average, torn down just 30 years after being built.
No,
According to a paper by the Nomura Research Institute, it's a major obstacle to affluence for Japanese families. The collective waste is approximately
It's so
an
much
annual
waste.
loss of 4% of Japan's total GDP. The total amount of new houses built in Japan every year is on par with the United States,
Oh my God.
despite having only a third
Yeah,
of its
they-
population,
Yeah, I was gonna
which
say,
is
it's like-
shrinking every year.
so
87%
much smaller.
of Japan's home sales are new homes, compared to only 11 to 34% in Western countries. Part of the reason for this is that the Japanese love new things. Their frequent and severe earthquakes make old houses,
That's
cheap
true.
wood frame houses from the same post-war boom we had, dangerous and without proper seismic reinforcement. It's considered futile to invest in their maintenance or try to improve them.
That's insane.
That's especially reinforced, the Nomura Research Institute says, by concepts of impermanence in the Shinto religion. Take a
Oh, it's
look
a
at
religious
Ise's Grand
thing.
Shinto Shrine, a huge religious site that is rebuilt from scratch every 20 years.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, it's very expensive when you apply that same principle to houses.
Americans wanted cheap homes to fulfill their dreams of home ownership after World War II. But the tricks that contractors used to make that happen have made it easy for us to view homes as disposable
Yeah.
and unworthy of repair.
That's
But
crazy.
times could be changing. A recent trend that hasn't unseated wooden framing yet is modular or prefabricated homes.
Oh, the ones that are done.
Modular homes are constructed in sections away from the building site and then put together on the property. But they're actually framed with 8 to 10% more wood, so they're extra strong for transportation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, so
and
it
are
is
designed to be
stronger.
sturdier than regular homes.
Okay,
Instead of
that's
nails
good.
and screws, walls are connected using joints and strong glues. It's a method that has become increasingly popular for making tiny homes, but hasn't managed to beat out balloon framing on the most important thing to contractors: price.
Yeah.
Modular homes sell for less than regular homes, even though they can be slightly cheaper to make. So
Yeah, they're
contractors
cheaper.
avoid them in favor of more profit.
If Americans decided to stay put in one home and invest in it, that might change.
But the cheap efficiency of wooden framing and the necessity of moving to advance one's career are hard lures to resist.
Yeah, you can't
especially
really do
when
that.
everyone else is doing it.
Of course.
So I suppose you can really just blame it on trying to keep up with the Joneses.
How many times
sort of
have
like
you
the rat
moved in
race.
your life? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like this video, click subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell for post notifications. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, this was very interesting. I don't know if I like wholeheartedly agree with the whole like it's well, I don't necessarily, it's not that I agree or not, obviously it's just like it's facts. But I'm gonna say like it's quite like it's an insane thing to me of like they're constantly like the reasoning behind this all, like I'm still like how come I understand like why they do it, like all the reasons mentioned. It's like economical, basically all of them, because either is like again the job situation, the job market, like you want to move because you want to advance in your career, and there's no not loyalty, but obviously if you get offered like a better job and you have to move to a new city, like yeah, Americans, most people would do that. And if like but maybe like stop because you can't because you have your house. It's like, yeah, but if a lot of people are doing it, then probably they're gonna have like you're gonna have a better salary. And of course, the economical situation is not very good. Of course, you're just gonna, you're like, I don't really care about loyalty. I just want to go, and obviously I want to earn more. So I don't really care about like leaving this house or moving because, it's gonna have like, I'm gonna have better opportunities. which, you know, I understand like all the facts, and most of them are economical facts, and they are all sort of like economical based decisions, which obviously super fair. It's quite obvious people need money to live. But I'm like, okay, so the contractors are doing this, and it's because they can have like a better profit. Obviously, when they're selling their houses, and you know, it's cheaper to build, and obviously they can earn more profit, whatever. Okay, again, it's an economical decision. But I'm thinking of like, especially like in the Midwest, when they have like so many like natural disasters, tornado season is like they have tornadoes like all year round, or like a 9 out of like 12 months a year. And they also have, and there's like, for instance, like Florida constantly gets hurricanes, especially like certain areas. And it's yearly, like it's hurricane season. So in Texas as well. So it is like, okay, wouldn't that over like, aren't you like losing like so much money? And you have in LA, you have the fires. So it is like, again, you know, you're losing money every year with the whole, like how many, like I don't know, I would love to look at the statistics and see like how many people actually like, how many Americans how many Americans like on average and yearly, how many of them actually lose their houses because of natural disasters, either fires, hurricanes, you know, whatever. How many of them in average? Because if they are like, again, you have them every season, you know, every year. You have like fire season, tornado season, hurricane season. It's like, okay, you have like everything. And a lot of people who are losing their houses, it means like they're losing money. So it's losing money for them as the owners, the contractors, the insurance companies, like everyone's losing money. So wouldn't that wouldn't have gotten, or will at some point, will that achieve like a breaking point, and people would be like, you know what, we have to stop doing this, and we're gonna have to build like sturdier homes. Because we can't really keep doing this. We can't really keep like losing money like this. Or maybe I think, maybe it's, again, is that actually that's and also like an economical reason. Maybe I'm thinking about it like, oh, they're losing money. But maybe the insurance companies are maybe they are maybe not losing money. So if they're not losing money, maybe that's why they don't really care. Although again, I would assume that everyone loses money. Like if the house gets destroyed, I would think it's a loss for everyone involved. Like the insurance company, the contractors have to like go and build a new house. You as the owner, of course. Like I don't know, everyone's like it's a hassle. But maybe again, I'm off in that part, and maybe someone's actually earning a profit out of this. Maybe the insurance company or maybe the contractor is actually earning money, and they want your house to like be torn apart, and they can earn and they can earn more. They can earn more like that. So maybe I'm looking at it in the wrong way, and I'm looking at it from like maybe an owner's perspective, which obviously it would suck to lose your house in a situation like this, because I'm like, oh my god, where does it come? Like again, you have to stop building this balloon. How is it, balloon construction? That if I'm understanding correctly, like everything's hollow, and that's why it's called balloon construction. Because I think when you build with concrete, cement, and other sturdier bricks, it's like everything's filled, and they have to fill it, and you know you have like the platform, and obviously I would love to know actually how a house in the United States is built with all that wood. I think they just apparently they just put the whole like I don't know the whole like wooden beams, and it's all wooden beams, and then they maybe like I don't know they have to fill that, but obviously it's just like it's very like flimsy. I think obviously you know if you want to live in a house. I don't know. I'm in the mentality of like you need bricks, you need cement, you need concrete, you need something sturdy. But I think that's just my mental like thing is just like I don't know, because again, if I'm seeing a house like this, I'm like a hard wind is gonna blow this. It's gonna like turn the house apart. Which obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit, but at the same time, like am I though? I don't know. I think if houses were built with like bricks and concrete, I don't think this would happen. But obviously, again, like they are normally, again, it's maybe like a cultural thing as well of like, no, you know, we don't really care because the house is not seen as something that I'm going to invest in and I'm going to live here forever, or maybe I'm going to live here, maybe not forever, not a forever home, but maybe you're going to live here for, I don't know, 20 years, 15 years. Like you want to invest in it because it's your house. Like you live here and you want to live here for the foreseeable future. So you're going to invest in obviously caring for your house, maintaining your house. And they're like, no, it's disposable. It's like, I don't really care if this house like falls completely apart because I'm going to move in like 3 years. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of sad to me. I know that it's like a material object, like who cares? It's just a house. But I don't know, it's kind of sad to me that they're sort of like, they don't really care about like destroying it. And there's like so much waste, and they're really like do make that effort of like into like maintaining houses, and they're not looking for durability, which I think, like, I don't know, I'm of the opposite mind. I'm like, why shouldn't you want your houses to be durable in time, and they should withstand the test of time? Like, don't you want that? I think that's a good thing. It's like, no, they're like, no, it's the opposite, which I think it sounds crazy to me. I don't think I will ever understand it. It's like, yes, I get the logical reasoning behind it, but it's like, there's like, in my brain, like, cannot compute. Like, why, how come, like, if you have both choices, how come you wouldn't, like, maybe spend a little more money earlier on in the building process, but you're gonna have a house that's gonna withstand the test of time. It's gonna last you like 50 years, 40 years with proper maintenance. It's like, no, I'd rather have like a flimsy old thing, and they're just gonna get torn apart, and I don't really care if it gets torn apart, because it's like, no, that's so sad to me. Especially, I think, because houses are such a, like, I don't know, your home is like it's your special place. It's like your sanctuary. You live there. How many hours in your life do you actually like spend there? There's like so many memories. It's a familiar place. It's your home. It's the place where you feel safe. So it's kind of like sad and weird to me that they're moving on average also like 12 times in their lives. It's like, I think I can see why it doesn't really hold that much sentimental value, because after like 12 moves, you're just like, I don't really care. I'm just like, whatever. It's not anything. And maybe you go back and you drive by like the house you grew up in, and it's like nothing, because it got torn apart like 10 years ago, and there's been like 3 other houses there. You maybe don't really care. It's like, whatever. But I think there's a bit of a sentimental value that I think as humans we can't really help. That is like, oh wow, like the house that I grew up in and it's getting torn apart. Maybe there's a part of you that is like a little bit sad about it. It's like, oh well, it is. I have like memories over there, so it is like, again, it's kind of like a shocking thing to like not see that house anymore, or the house maybe that you lived for, I don't know, like for 20 years. It's gonna be a little bit of like, oh, a little bit of, again, it's not like you're gonna be depressed, but it's a little bit of like, wow, it shocks you, and it's a little bit, again, we can't really help to be sentimental about a lot of things and having nostalgia. So it is kind of like, again, it makes me a little bit sad that they're so disposable, the houses, and also like the same with Japan. I'm like, I don't know, and it's crazy to me also, like the thing of like you just like you like destroy it, and there's like so much waste, as if like there's, I don't know, like you're making a salad and you have like a lot of like, oh, there's like a lot of waste. It's like, it's not something that's organic. There's just like waste that we're actually putting into like the world and into our planet. And also like houses, I don't think, call me crazy, but I don't think houses should be disposable. I think houses should withstand the test of time. They're not disposable. They should be sturdy things in which like people can live there for many years. So again, it's like something I'm never really gonna understand about this whole like situation, because it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. And again, I logically I understand all the reasoning, but to me, it's like, no, I can't really like switch that ship in my brain that tells me that no, houses should not be disposable. And the fact that some countries treat it as such, it's even more insane to me. But maybe again, it's more like a cultural thing and a thing about, you would need to adjust. And I think that's going to take like a really hard time. Especially I think in the US maybe has it like a little bit easier, because it's like a cultural thing that it's more tied into like the economical reasons. So maybe if you fix the economical part and the system, maybe people are going to be more open to the idea of like, yes, we're going to buy a house, going to be forever. We're not going to move. I'm going to stay in this job for, like 20 years, 10 years. And maybe it's going to be like that. I'm going to put some effort into maintaining this. And I'm not gonna pay attention to what other people are doing, and if their career is escalating, or if they're moving or whatever. But I think in Japan, but maybe that could also be applied to the same, to probably like the Midwest areas or some areas that I mentioned earlier. And I think, there's like, you have natural disasters that are probably only gonna get worse as time goes on, and you can't really do anything about them. So it is like, you either fight against nature, and you start building like proper houses that can withstand those natural disasters, or if you can also see it the other way around of like, if it's something it's probably gonna, the house is gonna be destroyed in like 2 years, why would I pay any attention to this and put any effort into maintaining this? Like, even when it's like when you're buying like disposable things of like things that you don't really care about replacing down the line, because it's like, I'm gonna replace this in like 2 years, so I don't really care. It's not like I'm looking for durability in here. So maybe that could be a way of thinking, and that's valid. But I would also say, wouldn't you actually want to, I don't know, build, pour concrete in here and maybe see if it can also withstand, the like earthquakes in the case of Japan. Like maybe if you start building proper houses, you're gonna houses are gonna get like less damage as time goes on. I don't know, because again, you have other countries that do have a lot of like seismic activity, and they manage to build proper like buildings as well. And usually, unless obviously there's like a huge earthquake that really does damage a lot of houses, of course, because it's bound to happen. At least like they can give you some leeway into like some houses are gonna be saved. So I don't know. But again, in the case of Japan, I think it's a little bit different because it's tied apparently with religion. And obviously when it comes to like religion, I think it's a little bit harder to sort of like, to change things. And I think probably the United States has it like a little bit easier because it's a cultural thing, but it's a cultural thing that it's tied to economics. So I think maybe it could be a little bit easier to like make the switch. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.